Welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk about Intel. Last Friday, Intel went up over 10% in just one day. So what happened? Well, President Trump met with the CEO of Intel and they had a very positive discussion. So America, so Trump, he wants to bring back advanced chip manufacturing onto American soil. So in this video, we're going to find out what this means for the investor and whether today is still a great buying opportunity. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So what does Intel actually do? Well, they're mostly known for their Intel Core chips, and these chips used to be in every computer and laptop. Now, a few years ago, Apple went on their own silicon chips, so they lost a big client, but they're still in many computers at the moment. And the interesting thing is that they don't just make chips for computers, but they also manufacture the chips, similar to what TSMC is doing. So they manufacture the chips and they design the chips. And besides that, they also make chips for data centers, which is in high demand right now. And that makes Intel a very interesting company. Right now, we are in the middle of the AI boom. And this is similar to the dot-com era in the 2000s, where everything was the internet, but now everything is AI. Whether it's your electric car, your phone, or your computer, everything is AI and it's run on chips because AI takes a lot of computer power and you need chips. And what is the AI boom? Well, here we can read that it's a period of rapid growth in the field of artificial intelligence. The current boom originally started gradually in the 2000s with the deep learning phase, but saw increased acceleration in the 2020s. And we can see here in this graph that the growth after 2022 went exponential. And here we can read that the AI chip demand creates new global supply chain strains because there are so many companies that need the best chips to train AI models. And that's why there is a shortage of chips and everyone is supplying them. So now we are very dependent on TSMC, but Intel could take over a part of the production of TSMC. And that's what America wants. And here we can read global supply chains are facing a fresh challenge. Surging demand for advanced memory chips used in artificial intelligence data centers. So everyone needs chips and Intel is well positioned in this market. Here we can read, Intel shares rally after Trump hails the chipmakers' progress. So he's praising Intel essentially. Well, we can read here, Trump met with the Intel CEO, Lip-Bu Tan, on Thursday at the White House, where the two men discussed the company's new line of process following the US government's purchase of shares in the chipmaker. So the government is basically buying shares of this public company to support it. And that's why we saw this massive push in price of 10%. So this is what Trump said. I just finished a great meeting with the very successful Intel CEO. Trump wrote, we made a great deal and so did Intel. Our country is determined to bring leading edge chip manufacturing back to America. And that's exactly what is happening. So Trump is backing Intel by buying shares, making deals, and he wants to bring manufacturing back to America, right? So the big question is this good for the long-term investor? I think that the government backup is great for the long-term investor because the stock will do better because they buy the shares, they support it, they invest in the company, so the company has more room to innovate and to grow. And I think that the likelihood of this company going bankrupt is much lower if the government is behind it. So if you're a long-term investor, I think that it is a positive thing that the government is supporting the company because they have much more financial flexibility and more time to innovate. So we're now on TradingView and we're looking at the charts. It's now trading at $45. We can see that the 50 EMA is above the 200 EMA and here was like this golden cross. So this was a great time to buy and we see that the trend is now up, right? So technically speaking, we are now in a bull market for Intel and I think that the prices are more likely to go up than down. Of course, always in waves, patterns, but yeah, I'm pretty bullish on the company at the moment. I think there's now a lot of momentum behind it, but I like to buy when it's like close to the moving averages and not when it's already up. But I just hold my position for the long term. So if we look at weekly candles, we can see it's above the 200 EMA, which is great. And on monthly candles is also above the 200 EMA. So this company is really like back to life. Here, when it was like the bottom, people really didn't believe anymore in the company. So I feel like that Intel is now back in the game and that is great for the long-term investor. We're now on Guru Focus, and here we can get a quick financial overview of the company. We can see that they gave it a score of 65 out of 100, which is decent but not great. And if we look here at the financial strength, we can see it's a 5 out of 10. And this shows that their debt levels are a little bit higher than their cash levels, which could potentially be more risky. And if we look at the profitability rank, we see it's a 7 out of 10, which is decent, but they are not always profitable. So here we can see the financials, and we can see that the revenue is pretty steady, but the net income was negative last year, but now the last quarter they were positive, which is good. And here we can see the debt to cash levels. The debt levels are a little bit higher than cash levels, but because they are backed by the government, I don't think that these financials could potentially be a problem, because they just get more money from the government, and that is good for the company, for the survival of the company. And also these levels are not too extreme, the differences between debt and cash. Does Intel have a strong economic moat? So an economic moat refers to the competitive edge a company has, and it's a theory by Warren Buffett. And here we can see that the overall moat score is a 7 out of 10, which is pretty decent. It's not the best, but decent, so we can call it a narrow moat. And we can see that especially like the intangible assets, the cost advantage and the efficient scale are pretty high. And here we can see the strength and risks. So strength, still dominant position in PC and server CPUs. Manufacturing skill advantages, strong position in data center, significant R&D resources. And now, of course, it's an American company and it gets money from the government. That's also a strength. The risks is manufacturing technology lagging TSMC. So TSMC has far better technology at the moment, and they're producing also at an even larger scale. And they also have competition from AMD and ARM-based chips, but AMD is only designing the chips, while Intel is also manufacturing them. And another risk is like the loss of Apple as customer. They are now on their silicon chips, so that was also a big loss. And cyclicality in semiconductor demand. So it is a little bit cyclical, so you can have, but during a booming time, Intel will do very well. So we know that it has a narrow moat, not the best, but also not the worst. Another thing we need to look at as investor is whether this company is cheap or expensive. Well, the earnings aren't really like positive all the time, and they're not really consistent, so we need to look at its revenue. And that's why we're going to look at the price to sales ratio. And the price to sales ratio is essentially the market cap divided its revenue. So does it make a lot of revenue compared to the market cap? Well, the price to sales ratio is a 3.83, and it's here noted in white, which means that's pretty decent, right? 3.83, it's not really cheap, also not really expensive. I would say it's pretty fair value based on this ratio. So here we can see the price to sales ratio compared to the competitors. So Intel versus the competition. And we can see Intel's around 3.83. So lower valuation seems as a value play. And then AMD is higher, 7 to 8, so higher than Intel. Nvidia also higher than Intel. And TSMC is also higher. So based on price to sales ratio, Intel looks the cheapest. But a high price to sales ratio oftentimes also means that they expect like higher growth, like pricing in AI growth leaderships, for example, for Nvidia, because they're making so much money and they're growing so fast. That's why these multiples are a little bit higher. But if we just look at valuation, then I would say that at the moment, Intel is looking inexpensive when it comes to the price to sales ratio. I think that Intel could be a great investment, and I think that it's also a relative safe investment, because I don't think they're going to go bankrupt anytime soon, because there's so much demand for what they're doing. But of course, always make sure to avoid these mistakes as an investor. So don't use leverage, don't borrow money from brokers to invest, because if you do that, you can get a margin call, and you don't want to do that. And you have to sell at exactly the worst time. So don't break your allocation rules by wide margins. For example, I will only maximum allocate 5% to Intel. I will not do any more. Diversification is still the only free lunch in the stock market. So that's why I only allocate a small percentage and I keep to my rules. And the third one is don't fall in love with one business or stock. Doesn't matter how much research you do or how much you like the stock. Don't go all in, don't fall in love. Always be realistic and stick to your rules. I think that's important. We're back on the charts again here on TradingView, and I talked about this before, but we are now in a strong technical uptrend. We can see here this golden cross, and it's making higher lows and higher highs. Now trading at $45. Should you buy it right now? Well, it depends, right? Because if we look here at the RSI, you can see it's a little bit overbought. it means that it's a little bit overstretched right now. I like to buy when it's at the moving averages, but you could potentially put like a small position here and then wait for the next retracement to average into the position. But yeah, I will just hold my position I bought like before. I made a video like 2 months ago or something about Intel, more in depth what the company does. You can watch it on my channel as well. Of course, this video is only for educational purpose only. Always do your own research. But if you like this kind of content, feel free to like and subscribe for more videos. And I'll see you in the next one.